A social critic, Renu Omokri, has said Nigeria is not a pushover or should be afraid of using its military-industrial complex to advance the cause of democracy and the rule of law in Niger Republic, even as Nigerians fervently and consistently pray against war. But according to Mr. Omokri, Nigeria has a vested interest in what happens in Niger Republic, the way Russia has a vested interest in what happens in Ukraine and America in Cuba.
In a tweet, the social critic boasted that Nigeria's defense budget is larger than every other ECOWAS state combined. He added that Nigeria intervening to re-establish the rule of law in Niger might be better than building a wall. He wrote, "Nigeria's defense budget is larger than the defense budgets of every other ECOWAS state combined." He said the Nigerian military personnel are more than the military of all 14 other ECOWAS nations combined. ECOWAS has a combined annual gross domestic product of $760 billion. Nigeria generates almost $500 billion of that amount, or 63%. So, while we fervently, strenuously, and consistently pray against war, that does not mean Nigeria should be a pushover, or be afraid of using its military-industrial complex to advance the cause of democracy and the rule of law. We have a vested interest in what happens in the next-door Niger Republic, the way Russia has a vested interest in what happens in Ukraine and America in Cuba. Gone are the days when President Obama would destabilize Libya and then hand off and leave Nigeria to bear the consequences in the form of Boko Haram, which were essentially a spillover effect of the Libyan crisis. Political instability in the Sahel will not be the direct burden of France, NATO, or Russia. Libya and Chad, which Algeria is dead set against opening its borders to non-Arab and non-Amazigh persons. Mali is facing Hydra-headed issues, including a power struggle, an Islamist insurgency, and a population growth rate higher than her GDP growth rate. Therefore, if there is political and economic instability in Niger, the influx of refugees and migrants will naturally be to Nigeria. And that is why it is in Nigeria's interests to re-establish the rule of law in Niger. Either that or we build a Trump. Either that or we build a Trump-style wall between Nigerian border and the Niger Republic. Singapore is perhaps the least mineral-resourced nation on Earth, yet, she has the world's strongest passport, according to the Henley Index, and one of the highest per capita incomes in the world at almost $90,000. And the reason is that Singapore has an unassailable commitment to the rule of law.